Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We're live today. We're doing a video on my predicted lineup to take on Everton today, and as you can see the lineup is at my right here, and yeah, let's fly straight into it. Manchester United versus Everton. We all saw the game against Leicester City. It was literally not good enough, and I think this game, it's a game we have to win. We really have to win this game if we want to keep any hope of top four alive. I think top four, it's done in my opinion. I don't think we can get top four again, but I think we'll see a response from the players today, from the players on Saturday lunchtime. I feel there's a buzz around the Ten Hag, things that's going to happen. And I think that team is what we should play against Everton. I think we should play Matic. I think McTominay last week was an absolute shit. I just think we should play Matic because at this point there's nothing to play for. We don't have Champions League football to play. We literally don't even have FA Cup football. We don't have Carabao Cup football. We don't have any cup football to play. We're only playing in the Premier League, and I think we should use this and play now. Like, we should play. There's no reason for these players not to turn up. I know they did it against Leicester, but there's no reason for them not to turn up. I think you look at the way we play, we don't really play like a good team because we haven't got good players. The reality is, my lineup, you can see there, I removed Harry Maguire, and I know Harry Maguire, he's gonna play against Leicester City. I know that, but it's my preferred lineup. I think we should play Matic, hold the midfield. I also think we should play Fred and Pogba. We should play Pogba and Bruno. Then we should also play Ronaldo, Sancho, and Elanga on the right. I think that's a good team out there. There's a positive for the game as well. Ronaldo is back. I also think this game, we have to win this game because Everton, they're in a relegation battle. They are in a relegation battle, and we can't slip up at this point. We need to win this game. This game is a must-win game. We can't afford to literally bottle this. Ten Hag is going to be watching. It's a massive boss. We need to win this game if we want to keep any hope of top four alive. I think we could still salvage top four because we saw what Arsenal did. Arsenal can be, they lost to Crystal Palace. It happens. Spurs, can they hold their composure to the end of the season? That's a question. That's why I think if we start winning our games now, we could actually start doing, putting hope into top four. And I think even if we don't get top four, I think we should get Europa League football at least, because Ten Hag coming in, getting Europa League football, he could win the Europa League, and which gets you into the Champions League automatically. So I think it's not really, it's not a game. At this point, we can't afford to slip points up. That's my point. We can't now afford to continue slipping up points. I think we need to actually start getting the most points we can get at this point. We can't afford to slip up. And that's why I'm saying consistency. Players that aren't good enough, drop them. But you never see that with this club. And that's the thing. I think this game is a must-win game. We must win this game because Everton can't beat us. They can't beat us. I've been bantered. They can't beat us. We need to win this game no matter what. We just need to win this game. Whatever you think, these players, these slots, they ain't good enough. They're not good enough. Like, facts, they're not good enough. But at least win this game. This is a game we should win. We should be winning Everton. With that team out there, we should be beating Everton. That team, if he's going to pick that team, we should be beating Everton. I think we should just be beating Everton because they're fighting for relegation. I don't see how we won't beat them. they're having a really bad season. Employed Frank Lampard, lost to Burnley. They've been losing games. They're finding it hard to get consistency, and I think we just need to go there and act like a big club and get the 3 points and come back to Manchester. We can't afford to go to Goodison Park and lose that game. That's an insult. That's a slap on the face. And I think the Ten Hag buzz as well, we're going to see a positive response because these players will know that Ten Hag is watching from home. Ten Hag is watching from Ajax. He's going to watch. If you do shit to the end of the season, you're not going to play again. He knows he's watching you. So they know that automatically. Football players, they know what they're doing. If Ten Hag is the Man United manager already, they're going to put in a performance. They're really going to put in a performance. And I'm going to predict a 2-0 win. I'm going to predict a 2-0 win. I think Everton, they don't really score too much goals. They've got a really crap defense. Our defense as well is crap. It is really crap. But I think Everton, with the defense they've got, the midfield not particularly great. Donny van de Beek not playing tomorrow as well because he can't play against Man United. I think he all sums everything up, doesn't he? He sums everything up. And yeah, we'll see what happens from there. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. And Marcus Rashford is a player I want to talk about as well. Marcus Rashford is a player I want to talk about as well. You can see in that team, Rashford is not there. And I've got loads of DMs, people telling me, can you make a video on Rashford? What do you think about Marcus Rashford? And yeah, I'll say my opinion on Marcus Rashford. I think Marcus Rashford, at this point, he's surrounded himself with people who literally, I don't want to be rude, but he's surrounded himself with people who just, I would say his PR team. They are draining this guy, and I think it's not making him focus on his football. It's really not making him focus on his football. He came against Leicester. In my opinion, he looked like a lost soul. He looked like he forgot completely how to play football. And I think the things going on in his head at the moment, and I get it, but you play for Man United, mate. You guys are on tons of millions of pounds a year. I think Marcus Rashford, in a way, he's worked under 3 managers now. He's worked under Van Gaal, he's worked under Mourinho, certainly under Oli, and now under Ranić. I think if you want to blame those regimes, I think you look at it honestly and you're like, has he been developed? That's the question I would love to ask. If you can tell me any player we've brought into this club and we've developed, I would honestly take my hat off for you. The reality is, at Man United, we don't develop players. And that's why I'm happy with Ten Hag, because he's going to come in, he's going to develop players. There's some players that they ain't good enough, he's going to move them on. And I think Marcus Rashford, he's a good player. We've seen what Marcus Rashford can do at the top level. But the reality is, at some point in your game, you need to simplify your game. Go back to basics. Roy Keane said it. Don't overcomplicate things. If you see a 5-yard pass, make the 5-yard pass move. That's the way football works. You don't just run into blind alleys. You don't just dribble past 15 players. You can't do that. You're gonna try hard and fail. Just do the basics. Pass the ball, make the overlap, run into space and shoot. It's a simple thing. Track back, do your basics, do your job. Don't overcomplicate things for yourself. I think you look at these things and it's more or less like Rashford just needs to simplify his game, in my opinion. Rashford just needs to simplify his game. And his PR team as well, they just drain this lad. They just drain him. I honestly think Marcus Rashford is a top player. I was thinking him on Man United, but at Man United now, all these players that have failed this year, they're all failures. Most of them. I'll give them another year of a chance, in my opinion. And I think we need, at this point, we need to start looking at these things and saying, well, we need to start developing players. Rashford is not developed. Bruno's not developed. Delo's not developed. Tellers, none of our players have been developed. And it's an absolute disgrace. You need to develop your players. That's the way big teams, big clubs act. Look at what Klopp's done with Diaz now. He's brought this lad in from Portugal in the January transfer window. He's brought him in, he's settled in quickly, and he's already smashing in goals. That's what you need to develop players and stop going for a multi-millionaire social media influencers. Develop these players. Let them become world star. Let them become world class. That's the way football works. Don't forget, guys, smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. I'll go on to Rannick in a moment. I think Rashford just needs to simplify his game. And it shows you how far Marcus Rashford has fallen at United at the moment, because you look at it and you're like, against Leicester City, right? Ronaldo was not available and Rashford was on the bench. And Anger's playing ahead of Rashford. Rannick is playing a false line where Rashford's on the bench. It shows you how far he's fallen, Marcus Rashford. And I think if he works hard and he goes back to the basics, gets his head down and works, I think he'll be a good player back. And get the right coaching as well. And also you look at I'll go on Rannick now. I saw loads of people on Twitter blaming Ralph Rannick for the Leicester loss. And I would like to say, you would never see me blame Ralph Rannick. I'm not going to blame Ralph Rannick. For no reason I'm going to blame Ralph Rannick. He's been brought into this mess. This shit show Ralph Rannick has been brought into. These players, they've given up. They've absolutely given up. They can't even be asked. They don't care. And I think to put this on Ralph Rannick, it's an absolute disgrace. This is not his mess. He's literally been brought in to steady the ship. So I don't think Ralph Rannick should get any criticism for that. I know the points, the games we've lost, the games we've drawn, I know. He's going to take some credit for it as well. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't only blame the players. He's got some things wrong, yes. But trying to put it on Rannick when you literally protected your mate, I think there's something fishy going on there. And I don't think Ralph Rannick deserves any blame. Like any blame. In my opinion. I think he's come into this shit. He's been undermined. He said Lingard go in January. No. Everything he's doing. No. He doesn't have control. He's literally working with hands tied behind his back. And fair play. I think Ralph Rannick has got some things wrong as well. But let's be honest. Are you actually going to blame Ralph Rannick for only getting absolutely stuffed against Watford, annihilated by Liverpool, killed by Man City? There are levels to these things. And I think, in my